Hello, welcome back. So we skipped a week again, and this is gonna be the first time that I'm actually like doing a shorter stream. So this is gonna be just 1 hour because I have only 1 hour. It's during the day, but since I'm at home, I was like, why not? Why I shouldn't try, and at least I force myself to focus and not get carried away. I know I tried on Thursday. I was in the office and I tried to study. Like I had 2 hours actually. It was so incredibly challenging. Like it really, when we do the stream, I kind of, read it out loud. I have a conversation with myself. We have our ups and downs, but it's much, focused, let's say. When you're alone, you really have, your inner thoughts and everything. So this is something that can help us. So let's see. Let's continue. So what can I recap from the last session? So just a little bit of recap, because I remember during the last stream, we went through the object-oriented programming, and I know I went through the summary. Like because I was just so over it at the time, and I did actually return and to do this part, let's say. Let me just open up the code. Do you see the code? I think I can show you like this. Yeah. No, it's not working. So this is a reference, I believe, to the inheritance. No. Okay, and no, I cannot talk about this right now. Okay, so at the moment it made sense. I have no desire to return to this right now. Okay, we know. I mean, Dr. Chuck even told us that for now, this is only to get the idea or get the terminology, and this is gonna be a long time before I even have to touch anything like to use an object-oriented approach. So let's continue with databases, because this is our next chapter, and this is what I've wrote so far. So it's a database is a file. Oh shit! Is a file organized for storing data. They are organized like a dictionary as they map from keys to values. It maintains its performance by building indexes as data is added to the database to allow the computer to jump quickly to a particular entry. We will focus on SQLite in this chapter, and it's very common, and it is designed to be embedded into other applications to provide database support within the application. SQLite is well suited to some of the data manipulation problems that we see in informatics. Yeah, actually, side note. So yesterday I met a programmer doing badminton, and she said really that, code base, I think this is what she said, code base, or there's some website where, you should use this for, practical learning, because we had a thing going on with Python for everybody, right? But there is definitely not enough hands-on experience. There is not enough like assignments or anything. And I did actually try to go to the Udemy page or Coursera and do the test, and from head, and it's it starts very basic. But yeah, once I finish the book, and we are really close, then yeah, I do believe that, I don't think, of course, I'm gonna like stream anything else which is gonna become, but yeah, this is very, very important to you start doing practical things. Just side note. A database is a file. Oh, okay, what the hell? This is literally the same thing. Why is it like this? Okay, That's already a little bit of a strange thing, but yeah. Creating a database table. Compared to lists and dictionaries, databases require more defined structure. The names of each columns and types of data that will be stored in each column must be set when creating the database table. This ensures that the database software will use the most efficient way to look up data. Let's discuss the data types supported by SQLite. So here I wanted to go into more detail and everything. Do you see? Yeah, I mean it's very badly the picture, but basically if I scroll down here, maybe if I just do this. Yes, perfect. So you can see that these are the data types. So I wanted to, when I was doing this last week, and I was trying to really like typelessness, like this material is so ridiculously dry. It's like, oh, it made my head hurt. I thought, okay, I should go through all of this documentation and write it down. But no, I will just continue the book. This is the point here. This is the point. So these are the types you can use, but it's typelessness, typeless. So you don't necessarily have to indicate, but still you should, to avoid problems. Defining structure for your data upfront may seem inconvenient at the beginning, but the payoff is huge. The code to create a database file, a table named track, the code to create a database file and a table named track with 2 columns in the database is as follows. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through all of this right now because this is something I really spent a bunch of time on. This material, this is basically, we got the part, not this one. Go down, my friend. Yeah, and by the way, I hope it will not, the picture will not go away, because I had, last time I used this PC with the monitor, I had some problems. So in case that happens, sorry about that. So this was the big part, creating a database table, and it took a lot. Like really, I went through step by step. What did we get from this? The main thing we got from this is that SQL sequential query language, I believe so. So that the syntax we use, it's universal. Structured query language. So it's standardized and you can use it across all database programs, and it's indicated with capital. So for example, drop table if exists. This is all standard query language. Structured query language. And all of this program which we just did here was to showcase Thunderstruck My Way, how many times it was played. Like, you import the SQLite, right? You make a connection, almost like you're making a connection to the socket. Use a method to connect, and the cursor. Okay, so this was interesting, because why do we need the cursor? Once the cursor is called, yeah, this is, I really like this, that I do step by step. I make an exclamation. This is very nice way for me, I think, to understand a bit the code, to just indicate next to it, like, okay, what is this for? Very similar to open on text file. A cursor is like a file handle that we can use to perform operations on the data stored in the database. So if you briefly remember, we have the advanced way of with open. So I'm not sure if here the with cursor will work, but anyway. Once the cursor was called, we can begin to execute commands on the content of the database using the execute method. This is all written in structured query language, which is standardized across all database programs. SQL keywords are highlighted with capital letters. Table and column names are indicated with lowercase. So we have this guy cure.execute. Cure.execute, and this kind of means that once we have this select statement, we can start a loop. Let me try to pull this up, because it would be nice to check this in a. Yes, I think this is gonna be great. So Python, boom. Yes, beautiful. So let's just, as always, this was always super helpful for us to check it in the debug tool, how this everything looks like, so we can visualize it. So ta-da-dum, bada-boom. So we create the table music.sqlite. Then we are inserting, and we are the tuple, the 2 question marks, a tuple, and then yes, it's doing twice. So now I added Thunderstruck. Now I'm gonna add the 20, I guess. Okay, but I cannot see. That's what I'm very curious about. What is inside now? Jesus. Okay, hell no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna just continue, because the only thing I'm curious about is if I can see the for a row in cure. Boom. So row exists now. And the row itself, yeah, the row is a tuple. Is it though? Ah, boy, yes, great. Beautiful. Okay, that's it. I mean, nothing extreme, but great. So we gonna go back to the other scene. Yeah, I think I could actually, I can create more scenes, because this is a messy like this, right? Like you cannot actually see half of the shit, which makes no sense. So I could have a new scene with the separately for the note, but, or I don't know, or maybe I could really make this smaller. Anyway, we have 1 hour, less than an hour, so that's it. So what I suggest, let's just go ahead and continue with the summary. So far, we have been using the structured query language in our Python examples and have covered many of the basics of the SQL commands. In this section, we look at the SQL language in particular and give an overview of the SQL syntax. Since there are so many different database vendors, the structured query language was standardized so we could communicate in a portable manner to database systems from multiple vendors. A relational database is made up of tables, rows, and columns. The columns generally have a type such as text, numeric, or date data. When we create a table, we indicate the names and types of the columns. Create table, track, title text, place integer. To insert a row in the table, we use the SQL insert command. Excuse me. The insert statement specifies the table name, then a list of the fields/columns that you would like to set in the new row, and then the keyword values and a list of corresponding values for each of the fields. The SQL select command is used to retrieve the rows and columns from a database. The select statement lets you specify which columns you would like to retrieve, as well as a where clause to select which rows you would like to see. It allows an optional order by clause to control the sorting of the returned rows. Select ... The asterisk indicates that you want the database to return all of the columns for each row that matches the where clause. Note, unlike in Python, in a SQL where clause, we use a single equal sign to indicate a test for equality rather than a double equal sign. Other logical operations allowed in a where clause include blah 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 blah, as well as and or and parentheses to build your logical expressions. You can request that the return rows be sorted by one of the fields as follows. It is possible to update a column or columns within one or more rows in a table using the SQL update statement as follows. The update statement specifies a table and then a list of fields and values to change after the set keyword, and then an optional where clause to select the rows that are to be updated. A single update statement will change all of the rows that match the where clause. If a where clause is not specified, it performs the update on all of the rows in the table. To remove a row, you need a where clause on the SQL delete statement. The where clause determines which rows are to be deleted. These 4 basic SQL commands all allow the 4 basic operations needed to create and maintain data. We use CRUD, create, read, update, and delete to capture all of these concepts in a single term. Single. Yes, there is a disconnect between CRUD term and the first letters of the 4 SQL statements. Issued. Insert, select, update, and delete. This is okay. It is what it is. This is the setup we have. Okay, let's go back. Tables, rows, and columns is what a relational database is made up of. The columns generally have a type such as text, Also, a side note, I spoke to some people, and yes, you should definitely create your own calculator, which sounds very sad to me because hell, I've this is so not interesting. On the other hand, I would definitely create a metronome. Like a metronome sounds like a fun project, but I don't know which one is harder. Anyway, I was shared this another course, Udemy course, which is like more practical. So really, once we are done, we're gonna get to that. Create table track. When we create, we indicate the names and types of each of the columns. Okay, so now if we go back, to which I had opened before. Aha. See, so this is, I'm gonna always refer to this one. Yeah, I know my brain. Like, I mean, I guess if anybody experienced is watching this, it's like I know that the way I study is like the snail pace, but this is still something like I was supposed to do a big stream during the weekend and I just couldn't, so I didn't. And we have to be okay with what we have and still, which shows us that we are still on the track. That's the only thing we have. But anyway, so here we are indicate the type and integer, so anything capital, and I'm gonna even edit it so make it sense. So text and integer are in capital and they are indicating which are tuples. I'm gonna just write it down note for note because like this cannot be written better. Okay, so that's a main difference here. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. Istenem, okay. The update statement specifies a table and then a list of fields and values to change after the set keyword, and then an optional where clause to select the rows that are to be updated. A single update statement will change all of the rows that match the where clause. If a where clause is not specified, it performs the update on all of the rows in the table. To remove a row, you need a where clause on the SQL delete statement. The where clause determines which rows are to be deleted. And we call it issued. And we have a implementation. Implementation is so CRUD is the concept. Okay, I never want to touch this ever again, which is not gonna happen, but okay. Oh my god. The real power of a relational database is when we create multiple tables and make links between those tables. The act of deciding how to break up your application data into multiple tables and establishing the relationship between the tables is called data modeling. The design document that shows the tables and their relationships is called a data model. Data modeling is a relatively sophisticated skill, and we will only introduce the most basic concepts of relational data modeling in this section. For more details on data modeling, you can start with the Wikipedia page. Let's say for our tracks database, we wanted to track the name of the artist for each track in addition to the title and number of plays for each track. A simple approach might be to simply add another column to the database called artist and put the name of the artist in the column as follows. Then we could insert a few tracks in our table. If we have made a very bad error in our data model, oh shit, no. So yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is not gonna like read the whole thing and then return, because I don't know, because yeah, then I will have to go back and ja Istenem. Yeah, I'm a bit bitter and everything. I feel like, you know, we are far into this, but feel like, you know, we lost the hype or everything. But this is part of it. I just feel like, you know, when I was learning the first couple of weeks, the learning about the string concatenation and everything, like the string punctuation removal, string modules, you know, these things, you know, we were actively working on code. It was so exciting and everything, and I feel like it's been so far away. But yeah, just push through now, and we will profit later. Data modeling, like, who wants to learn about data modeling? Who in their right mind would be interested about data modeling? Like, seriously. But we know this, like, the whole concept was of, you know, study with ADHD, or, you know, this whole stream is that we look into things like concepts and everything which are really extremely far from us, but we are looking at them with an open mind, and, you know, with the with the motivation of understanding, or with open-minded way to understand, you know, to break it down. It's okay, this is foreign to me, I have no idea what's going on, but I giving myself a chance to understand without, you know. And, you know, this is what I'm telling you, because, like, when you're in a good when you're not stressed in general, there's nothing wrong with, you know, studying. It's such a, like, when you relatively have not much things to worry about, and you're in a healthy mindset, I think studying is super nice thing, and it's doable. It's just, you know, when all of the other things, but yeah, I think that's also a skill to learn, that, you know, all of the other things, you just shut them up, and also you're not trying to make them like a big elephant, because these things, whatever they are, which are keeping you from paying attention, they were always there, right? They were always there. Like, you could worry about, you know, always about something, right? And of course it can be severe, not so severe, not so, you know, time pressure or everything, but it's such a, you know, there's, at some point you're just gonna have to say fuck it, no matter what, you know, what happens. I'm doing this and I'm paying attention, and it's, I at least Now in the next, I have 15 minutes left, but this 15 minutes is not gonna be affected by anything outside, hopefully. Or, the dedicated time you spend for studying is not gonna be affected by any outside sources. So, which means I can dedicate all of my attention and I don't have to care about these things. I can care as soon as I stop the stream or I stop studying, okay, I can return. But for now, I'm gonna let myself to not care about any of these things and just focus. That would be such a strong psychological, way to overcome these challenges. The reason to use relational database is when we create multiple tables and make links between those tables. The reason to use relational database is to make links between But see, he uses only one L, so I have no idea what's your fucking problem. It's a real word, okay? It's a real word. Real word. We wanted to track the name of the artist for each track in addition to the title and number of plays for each track. A simple approach might be to simply add another column to the database called artist and put the name of the artist in the column as follows. I did it my way. If we were to look at our data with a select asterisk from track statement, it looks like we have done a fine job. We have made a very bad error in our data modeling. We have violated the rules of database normalization. While database normalization seems very complex on the surface and contains a lot of mathematical justifications, for now we can reduce it into one simple rule that we will follow. We should never put the same string data in a column more than once. If we need the data more than once, we create a numeric key for the data and reference the actual data using this key, especially if the multiple entries refer to the same object. To demonstrate the slippery slope, we are going down by assigning strings columns to our database model. Think about how we would change the data model if we wanted to keep track of the eye color of our artist. Would we do this? Yeah, thank you so much. Istenem, miért nem lehet úgy berakni, hogy normálisan? So this one here, I have to create a meme for this part. And this is where we're gonna end, because I guess I have 6 minutes left. So why is it not working? I have no idea. Normalization. Okay, well, this is looks like I have to learn on. Oh my god, this is crazy. Can you just please change to white? Like, I have no idea. Who should I ask to? I'm getting triggered again for absolutely no reason. But so I'm trying to create a little meme about this. And literally, I change to white keyboard and it doesn't work. Okay, let's approach this in a different way. But my time is up, guys. My time is up. Okay, I'm gonna let this one go. All right, yeah, so this is where we are. We made a very bad error. Very nice. I'm gonna just put it here. Okay. Yeah. This is my meme here. All right. Okay. Over. This was it. This is just 1 hour. It's really nothing. I'm not sure if there's point to this, but at least I have some update. I'm keeping on track. A very busy week. Very busy week, but we should definitely try to do an afternoon stream. And I think what I'm gonna do, yes, Thursday. Thursday, definitely. I can be here and do the whole thing here. So, take care.